when we used to communicate with each other, Daddy and myself, he would, I mean, when he was in England, I was in Nigeria. We used to fix a time when we would go to a place called Nitel, where a lot of other people are talking to their loved ones, and they have, usually it's about 10. I remember I used to go about 10 p.m., 11 p.m. at night to receive his phone call, and we used to go into a cubicle. But it's so different now. At the touch of a button, you're communicating with the other person.
Yes, technology has made things really easy for us. As a matter of fact, our generation, we are very lucky because we have like a variety of platforms. Like there are several, I can't even mention all of them. Starting from Facebook, yes baby, Instagram, WhatsApp, Skype, emails, text message,
yes,
calls. There are a lot. And you can do video call, regular call, FaceTime. So it depends on how depends on how you want to use the platform. And you could go public, you could do private, whatever it is.
Okay.
So it's really interesting how that has changed. And it also helps, I think it also helps with relationship, because like communication is better, and we all know that the foundation of any relationship is built on how people communicate with each other.
Yes.
So if you have all those platforms at your disposal for communication, it really goes a long way in helping, with your relationship. But I know that people still have concerns on how these, devices and all these platforms are being used in terms of how much you expose yourself to the public, the feeds and all that. And I'd like to know what you think about that.
Well, for us, the baby boomer generation, I don't think the public display of affection is not too much of a concern. It's just when it gets a bit too intimate, and you find and then even when it's a display of affection, it's actually not a problem. It's when there are problems, to then it's like
in the public
domain.
So for instance, if I fight you with my partner and then I come online and the entire world knows
about you. Hey, I mean I think that doesn't help a relationship, because there are just too many people involved, and usually what tends to happen in such a all kinds of people are making comments,
giving
their opinions, and usually for relationships, what I find is that you never know what spurred a particular action or a particular statement, because you were not there at that point, so you're just listening to one person's side of point of view. But long distance normally can create a strain in a relationship. So I find, like you rightly said, a lot of communication helps. And I think your generation, we also were able to enjoy that as well, because when my husband was on location in different parts of Nigeria, the fact that we now had mobile phones where we could communicate on a daily basis was a big help. Was a big help but I know for you and Soji, you were permanently FaceTiming, and I thought that was really good. You could see each other, which is nice.
So what do you think is the survival strength for long distance relationship? Do you feel like long distance relationship have a lower survival strength compared to relationships where people are together?
Well, I tend to think that it really depends on the couple, because there are some people who really are not like the kind of people who want to be in each other's space. There's some people who are like that. So having a long distance relationship actually works for them. So that when they see each other, it's like there's a courting session all over again. Even whether you're that kind of person or not, usually
every once in a while.
Yes, there's always that when you come together after a long distance, there's that time to get to know each other. So for some people that's exciting, that adds to the to the fun of the relationship, to the strengthening of the relationship. But for some people it kills the relationship.
What kind of for you and Dad, for instance, how did you guys progressed? You started with long distance relationship, and then you said, staying together.
Yes.
How
yes.
long was it?
A long distance relationship? Oh wow. I think that must have been like for about a year.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it was like about a year, and then I went over to England, so we saw each other more often. And then I finished what I was doing, my course, came back home. He was still trying to sort himself, tidy up his business in England, before coming back home. So of course that was when we were going to Nitel and things. But yes, it did. It did create a strain, and I think part of it too. Okay, that's another thing I remember when he, after being married for years, and he goes on location. I find that because I have to keep the home front on my own, I'm going ahead. I'm making decisions and things like that. So there are things that it used to create a strain in the sense that when he comes back after being on location for sometimes 3 months, he comes back and he's like, I'm not telling him things. I'm not, I should discuss it. And I'm like, I'm too used to taking decisions on my own that, so you need to fit into my flow. So that used to, that really created quite a bit of a strain. But after a while, I think he came to realize that it was easier, if he wanted something seamless, to leave me to be in control, and then he'd just kind of try and fit into that. But it created a lot of friction. Oh yes, a lot of friction.
I can't say it's deja vu because I would have said so, but it doesn't happen all the time.
Yes.
Once in a while that happens because I'm here by myself. Yes. Once in a while it happens because I'm here by myself, and
yes.
The decisions I take while I'm here is not really major decisions, though. It's just like day-to-day living, one thing or the other. But then for us, I would say it's off and on, the long distance and being together. Like I was in Lagos for a while. After NYC, I had to go to California for some work. That was, would I call that long distance? About 6 months.
Yes, that was long distance. Yes.
So I think that California trip was the first time we were not together, we were apart from each other. So probably that was one of the things that helped him to ease into me not being around. And then when grad school came and I had to leave, it was easy because he dealt with California, so we could deal with DC. So right now we are getting used to the flow of constantly communicating, but seeing each other from time to time.
Yes. But I think it's key for any relationship, especially for your relationship, which is growing and you're learning how to become one. And you need to be together. You can't be apart for too long. You can't be apart for too long. So that's key.
Yeah.